Welcome to this Big Byte video about MRP Monitor Light. I'll give you a tour of this SAP add-on tool by running a dataset so you can see how it presents information. This tool uses a dataset created in advance by the MRP Monitor tool. Let's begin. We start just like with any transaction in SAP by typing in the MRP Monitor Light's transaction code, which is MRP_L. Then enter. Something that's a little bit misleading is the name at the top of the screen. This is actually not the MRP Monitor. The MRP Monitor would have 6 tabs. This is the MRP Monitor Light, which only has 1 tab. We start by choosing the dataset to run. Click on the binoculars to see what has been set up and choose one that represents the data you want to analyze. You can use these fields to limit what gets displayed if you wanted to analyze something very specific, but we're going to run the whole set and we can filter out and isolate data from the results that get displayed. Then we select Reread Measures and Submission and click Execute. This is where we see the results. Now before we look at the results, let's talk about the layout of this screen. It's divided into 4 main sections: the data folders, the classification matrix, the classification bar graphs, and the results section at the bottom. These areas are all adjustable to let you see more or less of each by dragging their edges. Let's start with the data folders. You'll want to open them up to see the results inside. The total materials gives you overall results. You can see it's returning data about 154 materials. The standard materials gives results about the materials that are not new or seasonal or deleted or without consumption or with negative consumption. You can see there are 61 items considered standard materials in this data set. The new materials are materials that were defined as new according to the criteria set up in the MRP monitor when this data set was created. There are 75 items that are new materials. You can determine the contents of the other folders based on their name. Most of our focus will be on standard materials, so I'm going to move the edge up. You can always use the scroll bar to see the out of view folders. If we click on the standard materials number, the data in the results section changes to show the standard materials data. It says normal materials, but it means standard materials. If we click on the total materials number, the data in the results section changes to show the total materials data. If we click on the new materials number, the data in the results section changes to show the new materials data. Now, if we click in the classification matrix on the number representing AX items, in this case it's 4, the data in the results section changes to show information about those 4 materials. We can change the layout of the results section by clicking on this button and selecting Change Layout. Here you can control what values are displayed and you can see what values are available. Something helpful is when you see this checkbox, by selecting it, it will give you a totals count for that value, which can be handy. Let's see what else is showing in the displayed column. I'd like to see that total value of the valuated set of items. You get the idea. In the Display tab, you can make these totals appear on the top of its column in the Results section to make it easier to see. You can click the check mark, or you can click Save if you want to keep the layout format to use another time. Type in a name for the layout, and you can select whether the layout is only for you or if anyone can see and use it. And also if you want it to be your default setting. I'm going to make this the default setting. Click on the check mark once for the settings I'm saving, then click it again to return to the results screen. Now you can see the totals at the top of the results. I'm going to click on all of the C items. You'll see the results section reflects this new data, and you'll see the totals change too. Let's move the slider over to the right And here we can see the total for valuated stock value for the C items. Let's move the bottom slider back to the left. And there you've seen a general overview of the MRP Monitor Light. You should check out other Big Byte videos about the MRP Monitor Light, like how to use this tool to update more than one material master simultaneously. Knowing how to do that can save you a lot of time.